Crabtree, and this is my Repurpose Redesign project, raising the bar stools. This is my evidence of online submission. So when I first started this project, my main concern was that my FCCLA advisor, Jarzab, wanted to give her old bar stools to her son for his new apartment, but they were really broken and outdated, and they just weren't really safe to be used, so they needed to be fixed and repaired, or they needed to be pitched, honestly. My main goal was to fix the broken parts of the chairs and really bring them back to life with either paint or stain of some kind. And I hoped to redesign these chairs to help them fit into the theme of her son's home in some way. So my plan for this was to first start with repairing the broken parts of the chairs, gluing pieces back together, tightening screws, and make them more stable and safe to be used. I then planned on sanding them down and painting them, and Mr. Jarzab's son is a very big Ohio State Buckeye fan, so I planned to incorporate that into the theme in some way. The first thing I did was fix all of the broken parts of the chairs. I did this by using screwdrivers to tighten screws and used Gorilla Wood glue to fix some broken pieces that wasn't connected anymore. I then sanded all of the surface of the chairs to make the paint stick a lot better. And once I finished sanding, I painted them with a aged gray chalk paint. This took about 2 coats to fully cover, and then I painted the bottom footrail with an oil-based paint. I then used red and green acrylic paint to add on a Buckeye logo and the famous Buckeye leaf to really incorporate that Ohio State theme into the design. The last thing I did was just finished up with some touch-ups in some messy areas. Overall, Mrs. Jarzab and her son were both very happy with the result of the stools. They're a lot safer than they were to begin with, and they will fit into his home really well with the theme that I chose. I'm also really happy with the results of them. If I did have the chance to redo it, I would use tape during my painting process to help prevent some mistakes. I would also use a stencil for the Buckeye logo, just to make it a little cleaner and easier for me. So here's the final product. These are the 4 chairs after everything was done. And here's just kind of a photo timeline of the process. This was what I got when I began. This was the starting photo. And here's just a close-up of some of the broken parts of it, and just some cracks in the wood and things like that. And over there, I'm starting the sanding process. Here's just kind of this start to finish the painting part of it. This was the first coat, second coat, and then the bottom railing with the black. Here's just some close-up pictures of the Buckeye logo and also just the final product of them and the texture and everything. And then there's me posing with my final product. I did use a lot of different materials for this. I used this 150 grit sandpaper to wrap up the surface of the chairs to help the paint stick a lot better. I used this Gorilla Wood glue to fix the broken pieces of the chairs. The glue dries a really natural color and it's water resistant, so I really liked that. And then this was the aged gray chalk paint I used for the surface of the chairs. It had a very pretty matte finish, and I think that it just created a very clean look, and I really liked the way that turned out. I used this oil-based paint for the bottom rows of the chairs. The glossy finish really added a contrast between the matte finish of the surface of the chairs, and I just thought that looked really, really cool. And then I used these 2 acrylic paints for the Buckeye logo that was at the top backrest of the chairs. And the matte finish of that really blended well with the matte finish of the gray. I used these paintbrushes that are a lot bigger and a lot more of a texture for the body of the chairs as well as the bottom railing. And then those softer, finer point brushes for the Buckeye logos. And then just used a screwdriver to help tighten up some of the loose screws at the beginning. I did have to buy quite a bit for this, but none of it was really too crazy. At the end, I only spent about a total of $38.35, so it was really a very affordable project considering I did 4 chairs. When I first began this project, it was actually in my interior design class at school, so that's also how this relates to FCS. So I mostly just did it at school, and we were on a hybrid schedule, so I worked on it every single day from November 18th until December 22nd while I was at school, and then I took it home over Christmas break, finished it up, and I spent about a total of 9 hours from start to finish completing these. Some of the skills I used for this were a good choice of item for repurposing because I already had them and they already had a rightful home waiting for them. I also repurposed more than one item because there were 4 different stools that I redesigned. I really tried to promote environmentalism throughout this by just using clean products and being safe and sanitary throughout the process as well. I used embellishments and conserved a theme throughout the entire process with the use of Buckeye colors as well as the Buckeye logo and leaf. And then I sanded, painted, and glued from start to finish throughout this entire process as well. I really learned a lot about the refinishing world and some of those skills, and I had a lot of fun with this, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you.